Alright, so I'm gonna wait a couple of seconds to let people get in here. I'm also on TikTok, so give me just a minute. Let me get some people in here and we can get started, okay? Basically what I'm gonna describe today is how do I use the harmonic pattern, the Cypher Harmonic pattern, to enter, and then the Fibs to help me determine my entry and exits. And then also, how do I determine, different areas of exits as well. So let's go ahead and get started. What I'm looking at right here is MNQ on the 10 range chart. This is the same as ES on the 4 range chart. So you'll see it in just a minute when I show. So how do I do this? Okay, so I drew this out, but basically what I do is I see the pattern forming. Okay, boom, boom, boom. This is formed. We're starting to come up in here. I say, okay, it's time to draw my Fibs. What I do is I come over here and I go to my Fibs, and then I draw it from the top to the bottom of the structure. So if you look here, you'll see this and this. This lines up with the bottom of that. Okay. And then what I do is I use the 786 fib where that purple circle is, right here. That's my entry. Okay? That's my entry point. And why is that my entry point? Because it provides me with really good risk to reward. So if this is the top, and this is normally your stop loss, right? I have my 200 EMA up here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this. I'm going to say, hey, look, if we were to continue up and we were to invalidate this W, what I would like to see is us go over the 200 EMA before I stop myself out, because what could happen is we could go up, touch the 200 EMA, and then start going down. So I'm going to make sure that my stop loss is right here. My stop loss is, let's go ahead and see. So my stop loss is at 12,065. The top of the structure is 1260, so that's 5 points, okay? 5 points on MNQ, okay? My entry is here, which is 3 points. So total, we have 8 points, okay? Our first target point is, is a little over 7 points away. So just that alone basically makes this even, right? So these basically break each other apart. A better stop loss would be moving this maybe to like $1 down more, so 64. Then that would give these exactly the same risk ratio, risk to reward. And then your second target is going to be your 236, or in this case, you could use your point of control on your volume profile, which kind of, they basically line up in the same area. So you could exit right there, or you can try and press your luck and go there, and then if you start seeing it move up, you can just take that as your exit. But basically what you want to use is you want to use both of the 236 extensions. So you have the first 236 and then you have the negative 236 as your exits, right? This is going to provide you, these two together, with this as your stop loss, this is going to provide you a good risk to reward ratio, okay? Now, to show you what I mean, let's go ahead and pretend like we're doing a trade. So let's just say we're taking our trade, I'm sorry, what was it, 57? And our take profit is 42.75 down here. We have, and that's on 5 MNQs, we have take profit of $142. Our stop loss is at 165 is only $80. But we're going to move it down to 64, so it's $70. So we have basically a 2-to-1 risk to reward if you were to hold it all the way to the second target. If you don't hold it all the way to the second target, let's see, let's just say your average ends up becoming something like 47.50. So you're risking $70 to make basically $100. That's kind of what you're looking at on an overall scale. Now, ES, this is a good one too, because it's the same thing just on ES, right? So I drew the same thing on ES on the 4 range, right? So we have 67, 467 as the top. The bottom is 463.50. And it also happens to be basically where your 200 EMA is, right? So you draw your fibs from the top to the bottom. Your first target point is this 236 right here. Okay, that's your first target point. And then your second target point, even though is right here, which it does hit, you want to take your money at the 200 EMA, because the 200 EMA tends to be a choppy rejection area. So what I would do, and if I was to play this particular play, as I was mapping it in real time, I mapped it when it was like right here. I started making this for you guys so I could go live and do it, and then it happened to do everything pretty quickly on its own. So that's fine, I don't mind, but I wanted to show you guys this. So this is where I would have exited on this candle right here, but as you can see, we do hit that 236 just after. So this is how you can go ahead and do this manually without the indicator on. And all you're using is volume. So this is showing you, your volume profile is showing you bullish versus bearish volume, so orders coming in. And then you're using your fibs to help you determine how to enter and exit. So volume profile showing you that bullish versus bearish volume in real time. And then this, because remember, this is showing every level. So right here you're seeing the most volume, and it happens to be slightly more bullish right here. And that is why, if you notice, we are pushing up off this 200 EMA, which is why the 200 EMA was the better exit versus the 236 that you normally exit. Even though it touched it, it doesn't matter. This is your better exit. So what I'm trying to teach you guys here is this risk to reward is so much better, because so the top of your structure is at 67, your stop loss is at 68, okay? So that's 1 point. Your first target is already from your entry, right? So that's 2 points, if you want to say, from there. So it's the exact same again. Your first target to stop loss is the exact same move away from each other. And then your second target is at 63.25, so another point away. So again, even on a very small ES structure, you're going to end up getting a decent risk to reward. That's the whole point of this. And that's all I really wanted to get on and show you guys. Is I know that the indicator, even though it's great, which I'll show you guys the indicator real quick. The indicator is great, and it does a great job, right? So this worked out, hit the first target that it has on here, and it hits the first target 80% of the time, but you get kind of small returns because the stop losses can be a little bit bigger. So really what you're trying to use this for, and the whole point of me introducing you guys to this indicator, was to introduce you to seeing the harmonic pattern in general, okay? Because if you see the harmonic pattern and you get used to seeing it, and then you kind of understand how to manually enter it on your own, you can take this off, and and just do it on your own and be a lot more successful, because you're not kind of being manipulated by what this is showing you. You're basically strictly entering on what your criteria is. So in this example, right, if this never touched the 786, I would never have entered, point blank. If it was to like come up to here, the 707 or the 618, and then start dropping, I just would have to wait for another something to show. If you go check like my last YouTube video that I posted, you can get it. I also think I posted it, the settings here on TikTok, so just scroll through, I'm sure you'll find them. Well, let me see if anybody's typing in here. Okay, nobody's typing in here. Nobody asking here. Let me see. It's a little late. I just noticed that. So remember, when we trade futures, I'm trading futures. On ES, when I'm doing my shorter time frame, it's the 4 range. When I do MNQ, it's going to be the 10 range. The bigger range on MNQ that I like to use is going to be either the 33 or the 40. Is pretty nice as well. But if I'm trading like SPY or QQQ, what I'll do is I will trade on the 22 range, and I will show you what I mean by that. So I'll go here, which is where your time frames are. Go down here. I'm going to actually star this and this one, and I have my 22 range. And then let's turn on the indicator. And it'll pop up in a second, and it'll start showing all the stuff that it's done. So it hits its first target 7 times out of 10, second target 3.5 times out of 10 for a 32% return. And you got to understand, 32% return is not saying in options, it doesn't know anything about that. What it's saying is on the actual whole 32% of $404. So of SPY, that's your return. So 32%, that's your total return. With your average return being something around 0.2% of the total of SPY. Does that make sense? And that's over 144 trades that it's taken this data as it's given it in real time and then shown, you know, the target's being hit or not hit. So like, you know, you see this M here being hit, you see this bigger W here, hits one target, then this one misses wherever this one is. It can get a little claustrophobic, but as long as you play the ones that are above 90%, so this one you wouldn't have played, but it still hit, it's fine. If you play the ones that are over 90%, you'll usually be fine. So 90%, you know, you have one miss, you have a hit, 2, so 2 for 3 there. This is not over 90. 3 for 4, 4 for 5. Not quite 90, and that fails, so you wouldn't have taken it. 6 for 7. Okay, 6 for 8. I would probably take an 89.4, but that's up to you. Anyway, you get the point. So, I just wanted to show you guys, you know, how you can use it, etc., etc. But also, what I really wanted to show you was how to do this on your own and like how I go about entering my trades, especially with you know, like this, with just strictly using the fibs, seeing the pattern develop. How do I want to enter? And as you can see, it literally goes to where if I get my entry, it usually ends up hitting my entry and dropping. And this indicator ended up picking it up as well. But first target being there and second target down here. So it would have given more reward, but the risk to reward for that first target would have been not as well. So something to consider. But that's how you can see that I know what I'm talking about. I did this on my own, and then I turned on the indicator and it found the exact same thing, right? Yes, that's what I'm using right now. MNQ during Globex, the 10 range. For ES during, or MES during Globex, I use the 4 range. So I just jump on here and I'm helping you guys. I'm not doing the live trading anymore because while I was doing the live trading, I kept getting banned and stuff. So there's just no point in doing that. I'd rather not go through that and then not be able to provide you guys with any stuff anymore. So as you can see, it looks like another one's forming here. I'd even be willing to say that this looks like if I was to go on a smaller time frame, that's also one. Now, I'm not 100% sure. God damn. Okay, but I'm not 100% sure about this second one, so I wouldn't play that one. But I would play this one. And so based off of what I've shown you guys, let's go ahead and delete this shit. Let's go ahead and pick where we would like to enter and exit, right? So based off of this, my entry would be here, right? So entry would be here, top of here. Stop loss would probably be, yeah, basically in the same exact spot that it was at, 64. First target would be here. Second target would be here, right? So what I'd be looking for is this. It could potentially go as high as touching the 200 EMA, right? And then I would short till, you know, we'd come back down to something like, probably do something like this, right? We'd probably go like that, and then come back up, right? Something like that, and then probably come back and start coming up back up to here, and then that starts forming some bullshit that drives us back down to somewhere right in here. That's usually how this will play out. I'll say something similar to this, not quite exactly, but you know, something similar to that. That's how I would play it. Oh my god, bro. This fucking thing. Okay. So, but that's what I'm looking for. And you'll probably, and like I said, if it doesn't hit that place and it's, you know, it comes up to here, it comes up to here, here or here, and then it starts dropping, well, oh well. I just don't get my entry and I'll play the next one. Because as I showed you with this one, I made plenty of money. trying to reiterate this so that you guys grasp it. Let's see, okay, hold on. Honestly appreciate the help finding the vid. You're very welcome. Sad Panda. For Forex, the 22R at times runs so quickly that you can't get in. If you find, so understand this, every single, so this is the question that's being asked right here. Every single index or whatever that you play is going to have its own range that you need to pick for it. So what I showed you is just for what I'm showing you. So like the 4 range and the 10 range, right? The 4 range is for ES, MES. The 10 range is for MNQ or NQ. The 22 range is for SPY or QQQ. You have to find the range that works well with the particular ticker or whatever it is pair that you're playing. I can help you find it maybe, but it's going to take time, especially if I don't play that particular thing. But yeah, so just so that's why you're finding that happening. If the 22 range is running too quickly for you on whatever it is that you're playing, then it's because whatever you're playing has a lot of data coming in very quickly, right? So Forex tends to have a lot more data coming in. You need to have a bigger time frame. That's all. Try something like double it, or I would even go as high as maybe like a 60 range or something like that and see how that works if the 22 is too fast. Yeah, NQ 10 range at night, NQ during market hours, I would do something like the 40. But the 10 range isn't bad if you're like extremely just trying to scalp. And you can see what I mean by that. So, like this right here, quick scalp to the first target, that's about it, and that's during the day, right? So, that wouldn't even have made it to my first target, actually. This would have been a stop out after being green just a little bit, which is fine. Shit happens. Not every single one wins. Yeah, this is too much data, but there's like a W here, right? Bigger one there. Bigger one forms here. Drives down there. Big one here. So you could play it, but it would be too fast as well, I think. Playing maybe the 22 would probably be not too bad during Globex. I mean, market hours. Let's see. It's not as bad. It's still not hitting targets as well, though. I don't think I'd play this. I know for a fact that I do the 40 or 91. It depends on how much volume we have coming in. But like if it's a slower day, I do the 40. If it's a like quick big day, I do the 91. And that tends to be pretty good. Like today probably would have been a good one for the 91. We were moving a lot. So like here, even without seeing any patterns whatsoever, you can see we come up, we chop a lot, and we're basically formed a top, and we're bowing out. You know what I mean? Like it's got all it can go. Boom. So you can see something like that really easily. This would have been an M, I would say, that probably would have failed you. Let's see. Actually, I don't know if I would say that's a fail, because it'd be here to here. It would have hit your first target to a T, and then you would have been done. So you would have gotten stopped out of your second order if you had multiple, if you don't take them all at the first target. But that goes to show you, you know, like here's another one. Here's an M that plays out really well. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm gonna take this off. Yeah, I would definitely play the 91 during market hours. But during Globex, and you can see why. It's just not as much movement, but you can play it with a 10. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get off now. I've been on her a little bit, obviously not too long, but long enough, about 30 minutes. I just wanted to show you guys how I do this manually, and yeah, I'm getting off. I'll see you guys tomorrow, or maybe not, because we won't have any blowbacks or anything tomorrow because it's Friday, but I will definitely see y'all on Sunday. And if you're in my Discord group, I'll see you on Saturday for our weekly class that we have. So, yeah, peace out.